So you roll up to University of Florida, you're 22, you're in a fraternity, the other kids are 18, they're still partying and getting all the high school stuff out. You now have a perspective and say, okay, a degree means something. I've also just come off a failure in my mind and I want to win at something. I'm a little bit older. I was in a fraternity house at MIT, and you might snicker about MIT, but we had a strong fraternity system there. 50 dudes in the house parties are crazy. We had a good setup too, which I'll ask you about. But we also had older guys in the house that would just crush it. They really would crush it because they knew much more than us. But tell me about that college experience for you. What were those years like?
Well, so the first year I went in there at a 4.0 GPA, or actually the first semester, 4.0 GPA. I fucked 14 chicks, which was like hot chicks, which was, I think, probably more than I had sex with my whole life prior to that. I did that in the first semester. And then, I was in good shape. I was, good looking. I had fucking money. I was just like, 22. I was the man. I just felt like the fucking man. I was loving it. I was like, crushing it. And plus I'd hung out with older guys, when you're in the military, you're going through SEAL training, whatever, you're hanging out with like older guys. And granted, like the regular military is probably not like the coolest motherfuckers, but a lot of the guys going through buds and, in the SEAL teams or whatever, they're generally like, pretty cool guys, whatever is, in terms of, what guys would perceive as cool. So, that rubs off on you and you spend 4 years doing that. And then you just go there with a different mentality, like kind of like, look at these kids, like they've never fucking done anything difficult. What the fuck have they been doing? And they're like, puking in the fucking corner and trying to get laid and just making fucking fools of themselves. And I don't know, it was just I just had a different mentality. And so my beginning was great. I had a fucking amazing time. I was super happy. And then I started getting into gambling, and the gambling really kind of started fucking up my college. I call it going over the dark side, because it's funny, man, you have that money in your account and it's accessible 24/7. It's hard for anything else to compete with the thrill of like playing for, at the time, thousands of dollars, which in college is a lot of fucking money. A beer was $1.50 a pitcher, right? So it's like, that goes a long ways. And I had the GI Bill kicking in. I had grants, I had loans, I had all this shit, coming because I was coming in as a veteran, and technically a disabled veteran, because I had gotten stress fractures and hearing loss and all this fucking shit going through training. When you go through training, they document everything. So my medical record was super thick from just all those medical checks and this and that. And, ITB injuries, fucking extensor tendonitis, stress fractures, just all this shit, right? So they gave me a 60% disability rating, and I was getting money for that too. I had free healthcare. None of my income was taxable. So anyway, so I had a lot of money to just fuck around with and gamble. And so I started, playing I started playing poker, and then I started playing online poker. And online poker is what fucked me up, because like I said, it was just always there. You come home drunk at a bar, it's 3 a.m. and it's like, what more entertaining are you gonna find to do than gamble for fucking, thousands of dollars? And so, you're all fucked up and you're not playing as good and whatever. And so
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?
Very quickly, and then the more money you're losing, the worse you play, and so that kind of compounds. And I can't tell you how many times I come home drunk and just blow my whole fucking account out, and then just be depressed in the morning or whatever, and then try and grind it back. And so this whole process. Anyways, when I ended up going broke, that actually gave me the discipline. When I had to sell my guns, then it became real. It was like, okay, we've fucking pissed away all of our fucking money. We're in debt. We've fucking taken out loans on our car. My parents wouldn't give me $1. My brother wouldn't loan me shit. I literally had to sell 3 guns, and my guns were like my prized possessions. I remember, I'll just never forget it. That was like a very distinct turning point in my life. I sold those guns. I went to that gambling boat, and from that point on, I took it really seriously. I wasn't bluffing to show somebody and say fuck you. I was bluffing when I thought it would work, and it wasn't about ego. It was about making fucking money. And I think once I turned that corner and got that discipline, I was still, I was playing a very aggressive style back then, which wasn't, now it's the current adopted style, but nobody's really playing like that back then. I was playing loose aggressive, so I'd play a lot of pots. I talked about it in the book, so people would perceive me as being this maniac. And then when I did have a big hand, I'd always get fucking paid. And when they didn't have anything, they'd fold, so it's like I was picking up enough money when they didn't have shit to make up for occasionally, when I was bluffing, when I, didn't have it and got caught. And then I was really making the money when I would get paid off on my fucking big hands, and they'd put their whole stack in there and they couldn't win. So I had actually set up, because of my table image, a lower variant style of playing, because, the best way to win in poker is to get all your money in with the best hand. It's not to try and get away with bluffs, because some guy gets a fucking hair up his ass and decides to just call you're all in, then you get fucking busted. Whether or not he's got middle pair or not, it doesn't matter. Sometimes these guys get sticky, and sometimes they just want to see your hand and they just don't believe you and whatever. And so when I did have it, that would pay big dividends. I'd get these massive paydays that other pros wouldn't get, because their perception at the table was that they wouldn't put their money in unless they had it. And I had the opposite perception. So I just had to lean into that, and I had to shift gears, and I made a bunch of fucking money. And when I, came back from Vegas, I never looked back. And then when I went online and I played, people would have these tags on me, like, this guy's a fucking maniac, call him, because you can put notes on players, right? So then I came back with this newfound discipline and this newfound bankroll, and really capitalized on the fact that people knew that I was capable of fucking bluffing and sticking my whole stack in there with nothing, which a lot of people at the time weren't capable of doing. So look, if you're a rich guy, and you think there's a 10% chance some fucking young punk is trying to fucking bluff you off your hand, and you've been waiting all night for this big hand, you're never folding to him. You're just not going to do it. You're going to pay the fucking money. Worst case scenario, you're going to sleep good at night. You're not, you know what I mean? So I just, I understood people, and then it fucking worked out.